Erin, and we're going to read of book of Little Women. Chapter 8, Castle in the Air. Each of the merged girls have a dream she hoped would come true someday. They call their dreams Castle in the Air. Wouldn't it be fun if all our castle in the air could come true? Asked Joe, and we could live in them. Rory agreed. He also had a castle in the air. He wanted to travel the world and became a famous musician. Meg dreamed about a life of luxury. She loved fine food, pretty clothes, and beautiful furniture. Joe knew that Meg also wanted a husband and children. Beth wanted only to continue to live with her family, as long as she had her piano and her family was well. Beth was happy. Amy wanted to live in Roman and to paint fine pictures and to be the best artist in the whole world. Joe's castle in the air was as splendid as everyone else. She wanted a stable of Arabian horses. She wanted rooms and rooms of books, and she wanted a magic instant. She wanted her writing to be as famous as Rory's music. Jo had a key to her castle. She wrote every day, but she didn't know if all her secret writing would unlock her castle door. A few days later, Jo was writing in the attic. She scribbled away until the last page was finished. Then she read the story aloud, scribbled the rat paced as if the reason. "There, I've done my best," exclaimed Jo. She tied the page with a red ribbon. Climbing out of the back window, she took a road-up way to the road. Then she kept the bus into the city. Jo knew where she was going. The newspaper office was at the top of the stairs, right next to the dentist's office. Rory was waiting for Jo. He had been at his Venice lesson across the street when he spotted her. He thought Jo had gone to the dentist. "How many did you have out?" he asked. "There are 2 which I want to have come out," said Jo, "but I must wait a week." Jo's eye twinkled. "You have a secret, don't you?" said Rory. "Well, so do I. If you tell me your secret, I'll tell you mine." "You won't tell anybody at home, will you?" asked Jo. "Not a word," said Rory. "And you won't tease me in private?" asked Jo. "I never teased," said Rory. Jo laughed. Rory loved to tease. "Well, I've left 2 stories with the newspaper," said Jo. "Next week I'll find out if they'll print them. Hurry for Miss March, the celebrated American author." Rory threw his hat into the air and catch it. "What fun to see your story in print," he added. "They're better than half the rubbish that is published." Jo's eyes sparkled. It was great to have a friend believe in her. "What's your secret?" asked Jo. "I may get into trouble for telling you this," said Rory, "but I know where Meg's lost glove is." Meg's glove was still missing. It hadn't been in the post office, and it wasn't anywhere in the house. "Is that all?" asked Jo. "That's not much of a secret. It is when I tell you where. It's in Mr. Brooks' pocket. He's been carrying it in his pocket for months. Isn't that romantic?" asked Rory. "It's disgusting," said Jo. "I wish you hadn't told me." "I thought you'd be pleased," said Rory. "How could I like someone taking away my Meg?" asked Jo. "No, thank you. You'll be happier when someone comes to take you away," said Rory. "I like to see anyone try," said Jo. "So would I," laughed Rory. "Race with me down this hill, and you'll feel better." The 2 friends raced like wild horses. Jo's hat flew off. Her hairpin scratched behind her. Jo stopped at the bottom of the hill. Her cheeks were red. Her hair was a mess. Just then Meg came along, dressed for her company. She had been visiting Sally Grainer. "What in the world are you doing here?" Meg asked Jo. "Collecting leaves," said Jo. She quickly picked up a handful. "And hairpins," said Rory. He had a handful of Jo's sacred hairpins. "You've been running again, haven't you, Jo?" asked Meg. "When will you stop romping like a boy?" "Not until I'm stiff and old and have to use a cane," said Jo. "Don't try to make me grow up before my time, Meg. It's hard enough to have you change so suddenly. Let me be a young girl as long as I can." "Where have you been?" asked Rory. "At the Grainer's," said Meg. "Sally's been telling me all about Belle Moffat's wedding. It was splendid, and they have gone to spend the winter in Paris. How delightful that must be. I do envy Belle. If you care so much about riches, you won't want to marry a poor man," said Jo. This thought pleased her, since she knew Mr. Brooks was poor. The next 2 weeks, Jo acted strangely. She rushed to the door when the postman rang. She was rude to Mr. Brooke whenever they met. She would stare at Meg sadly. Then she would jump up, run away over and kiss her. One morning, Jo came in with the newspaper. She threw herself on the sofa and pretended to read. Anything interesting? Asked Meg. Nothing but a story, said Jo. It doesn't amount to much, I guess. Read it to us, begged Amy. You wrote it, Beth asked when Jo finished. Your sister, Jo said with a smile. You? Cried Meg, dropping her swing. How excited everyone was. Beth skipped and sang for joy. Amy had ideas for Jo's next story, and Mrs. March beamed with pride. Maybe someday I'll be able to earn my living as a writer, said Jo. That was Jo's delicious wish, to earn her living as a writer and to help the girls. This probably story seemed like the first step towards Jo's dream. Thank you.